Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, and how we're going to fix both of them together. The content that I'm going to show you right now is the immediate insanity of fallout that's happening around the Biden pardoning of his son Hunter. This is interesting, not for the fact that we knew it was going to happen, but for the left's response. This is going to blow your mind, along with a little bit of The View going full crazy, and with Republican senators showing how senile and pointless they are. Everything that I'm about to show you is going to be linked into the description box below. Of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and let me know what you guys think of this in the comments field right down there. Now, we are spreading freedom from border to border and coast to coast, and thank you in advance for checking it out and spreading this, because we have a country to save, and we are going full bore. All right, so as we get into this, I want to show you something off the get, but before I do, I want to show you our sponsor, Patriot Mobile. This is one of the partnerships that I'm so excited about going into the end of 2024, 2025. They are willing to give you a free month of your cell phone coverage if you switch over from any of the big networks. They have the exact same towers, the exact same coverage, but they believe in causes you believe in. Put your money where your beliefs are. That's an important piece. I'm going to show you this quick clip, and then we're going to jump into the insanity that is ensuing from this Biden thing.
In 2024, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment where the call for unity, freedom, and a better future echoes louder than ever. For more than 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been committed to supporting the values that make our nation great. With affordable plans and reliable nationwide coverage on all three of the major networks, Patriot Mobile is not just a wireless service, it's a call to action for those who believe in the American dream. Choose a wireless carrier that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
All right. And the thing that I was really excited about choosing the partnership with them is, guys, not only do you get a month free if you use the code LOA in the link in the description box below, but it's the same coverage, but your money's going to support causes you believe in. That's something bigger. It's broader than just the actual cell phone coverage. So check it out, code LOA. All right. This right here, guys, is going to get your goat. I'll be honest, fair warning. Prepare your goat to be got. So this is from a senator, a Republican senator, and this is part of the problem, and I'll show you my thoughts on this as well. But I'm shocked President Biden pardoned his son Hunter because he has said many, many times he wouldn't, and I believed him. Shame on me. So I'm just going to state the obvious. I'm going to read my first initial thoughts when Senator Chuck Grassley of the Republicans, one of the leaders in the Republican Party, put this out. Here's my initial thought. It's right there. This is the problem. A veteran leader on the Republican side foolishly still buys the lie that the Dems will keep their word. This is why you're ineffective as a group. You operate under an assumptive worldview that does not exist. You want another example? The Safer Communities Act, the Senate Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. John Cornyn and Tom Tillis, Republican senators, negotiating with Chris Murphy and Kyrsten Sinema about gun control, saying that they promised us you would have due process rights. And then they didn't. We're getting to a point now, and I put some other tweets out or posts on X earlier. The Republicans are the bigger problem than the Democrats. The Democrats you can at least see coming a mile away. The Republicans are rhinos that wear freedom camouflage. No more. It's us versus them. You cannot get away with ineptitude like this. I believed him. Shame on me. Okay, if you truly believed that Biden was never going to pardon his son, that the rest of the country knew for 2 years, you are not qualified to be in a Senate role. That's my stance. You guys can let me know if you agree on the bottom, but excuse me, in the comments. But let's keep going, because I got more upon more upon more. This is absolute insanity. Conservatives are more pissed at Hunter Biden for buying a gun than they were at Kyle Rittenhouse for using his to kill 2 human beings. Wow, that's revisionist. Let's just go through this really quickly. Conservatives aren't pissed that Hunter Biden bought a gun. Conservatives are pissed that Hunter Biden just got a pardon after a conviction for the very laws his father propagates against us, the American people, infringing upon our Second Amendment rights. But he's the elite. He's better than us. So he doesn't have to abide by the rules that his father pushes. That's the point. It's not about him buying a gun. It's about him being everything antithetical to the common sense gun safety lies the Democrats and the Biden administration have pushed for 4 years at the cost of our rights. That's what it's about, cupcake. Anyway, and the other thing with Kyle Rittenhouse, self-defense, eat it. Anyway, let's keep going. This part right here from Gun Owners of America, this was well written. So Hunter can lie on a Form 4473 and get a pardon, but if a gun store accidentally forgets to dot an I or cross a T on a Form 4473, then Joe Biden's ATF has a zero tolerance policy for the mistake and immediately shuts them down. That's reality. We've covered that gun shops were closing at a faster rate than ever before under the Biden administration under this zero tolerance policy. But for some reason, that zero tolerance policy doesn't apply to the Biden administration's own son. It's hypocrisy. Now, the benefit here is it undermines gun controllers forever, but it is hypocrisy. Let's keep going, because we have got to take a look at The View, because if you ever needed irrationality, this is the number one place to stop. Can't wait for Katie on Stone Second Sense, our sister channel, to get a hold of this one because she loves ripping them apart. But anyway, let's keep going.
I respect it as a parent. I understand why he would do it. Yeah. But I wonder to understand why lie about it for so long.
I'd stop lie.
Okay, why repeatedly say you're not going to and you do? And secondarily, for the part of this country, half of it that doesn't support Biden, doesn't know him personally, doesn't get to have phone calls, and they're just looking at a system that seems like it only benefits the people who are in power.
I'm going to say,
what precedent does that set?
Well, here's what it says. It's a precedent for all of us to open our eyes because we've elected someone who is in a similar situation, who didn't have a drug problem, who knew what he was doing, who clearly stood and said, I can do this. And he did it. So I think, for many, many reasons, this is very different than any other situation that we have ever dealt with.
Of course it's different, but did you catch that? If you're unaware and you're under drugs and you're violating other federal laws, it's okay because he didn't know what he was doing. How much do you want to bet that all the brace rule implications and infringements and all the prosecutions that come from the brace rule changes, all of a sudden it doesn't matter if you knew about the rule change that the ATF just made up ad hoc. You don't know about that, it doesn't matter. You violated the law. But according to Whoopi Goldberg, for the Democrats, it's different because he was on drugs, which were illegal and felonies, and he didn't know. And then he dropped the gun in a school dumpster. Yeah, he's on drugs. So now, if you're breaking the law and you can claim just, I didn't know, ignorance, well, then all of a sudden you're fine. You didn't break the law. Do you understand the precedent? That's what Griffin's talking about for the Alyssa, whatever, one of the pink. That's what she's referencing. But the left doesn't care. It's not about gun safety. It's about gun safety if I can weaponize it against my political opponents. That's what you're witnessing. That's why it's so infuriating. Let's keep going. This is where CNN Scott Jennings, this guy rips the Democrats apart, and this is very appropriate. We got two more. Let's just rip it.
Joe Biden is leaving office making the strongest possible case for Donald Trump that anybody could possibly make it, and that's that our government and our justice system is of, by, and for the elites and nobody else.
Yep.
He ran to banish Trumpism from our political system in this country, and he has left it politically and now institutionally the strongest possible political force in this country. It is a complete and utter failure by the head of the Democratic Party and the President of the United States. Never again do I want to hear, oh, Donald Trump's a liar. You can't believe anything he says. Donald Trump will abuse his power. Donald Trump will only use the system to benefit himself and his family and so on and so forth. Never again. I have one question for Karen, and that is, why did he need an 11-year blanket pardon going back to 2014 when Joe Biden was the vice president? We are sitting on the biggest cover-up of who knows what crimes, and Joe Biden amazingly knows exactly, roughly, when it started. He knows just about when it all started. He's leaving office in complete and total disgrace. He is a liar. And there is no other way to spin this today. This has nothing to do with Trump and everything to do with the character of Joe Biden.
Valid point. It is interesting that it went back 11 years, right? Anyway, let's keep going. It's too easy. I want to wrap this up. I want to skip Brian Krasenstein because no one cares. I want to wrap this up with a representative Democrat, Jasmine Crockett from Texas. This is one of the rising stars in the Democratic Party because she checks all the boxes and she's articulate and she can do all these different pieces. She has an interesting perspective on this because all of a sudden it doesn't matter. Keep in mind, if this happened to you, you'd be arrested. You'd be in jail. Matt Hoover's in jail. You'd be in jail. Check this out. All of a sudden, go team.
Well, I won't pretend to speak for the entire caucus, but I will say, way to go, Joe. Let me be the first one to congratulate the president for deciding to do this, because at the end of the day, we know that we have a 34-count convicted felon that is about to walk into the White House. So for anyone that wants to clutch their pearls now because he decided that he was going to pardon his son, I would say take a look in the mirror. Because we also know that when it comes to this cabinet has more people accused of sexual assault than any incoming cabinet probably ever in the history of America. So we are living in unprecedented times, and we know that this was completely political. As someone who serves on the Oversight Committee, this was gamesmanship the entire time. And
Gamesmanship the entire time, guys, and this is where I'm going to wrap this entire thing. All political gamesmanship. The guy violated every rule his father pressed upon you as an individual who has rights in this country. Blamed you for everything. You don't need a 9mm. It'll suck your lungs out. Who in God's name needs an assault weapon? Who in God's name hunts with an assault weapon? The deers need different Kevlar vests. Making fun of you every step of the way. Attacking you and your rights because you're evil, because bad things happen. It's your fault. But when Hunter Biden buys a gun and is a felony in possession, lies on 4473s, of which you would go to jail for, disposes of guns in dumpsters with children around near schools, being in possession of a firearm while you are still a drug user, all these pieces. But don't worry, guys, as we show you right here, I'm going to actually go down one more time. President Biden's pardoning of Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden filled out a form wrong and was prosecuted exclusively because of his last name. It's laughable. But don't worry, it's about common sense gun safety. That's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Hope I landed that plane. I'll see you on the next one.